sitting here trying to start it, and it don't even have any gas. Hey y'all, so I want to start this video off and tell y'all I'm sorry for the lack of content, you know, with the cars and stuff, because I mean things are getting pretty busy. I've been just grinding it out. If y'all don't know, I got laid off a couple of in July, so I've been in like real grind mode lately, and the detailing business is starting to take off a little bit more. I'm starting to get more and more customers. We're making more cups, we're selling more shirts, trying to keep up with everything. So if you bought a cup or shirt, thank you for buying it, because it's going to a good use, trust me. But that's not what this video is about, y'all. I've been wanting to make this video. I just didn't know how. And I feel like it'll help some people out, because people, now that I bought my house, a lot of people ask me questions about buying it and stuff like that. And I'm about to start referring them to this video. They always ask me how much I pay and what was the process and all that stuff like that. So we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna let y'all know how much I pay for the house and all that stuff. I'm gonna let y'all know before we start on that, I'm gonna tell you why I bought this house. I know there's gonna be a lot of stuff that I left out, but there's only so much I can fit into 10 minutes. But if there's any questions you have, y'all, just hit me up. Like, I don't mind answering questions about this type of stuff. I feel like we need to have more conversations about stuff like this, about like buying houses and stuff like that. So my plan for this house that I'm in right now is that live in it for, the plan, hopefully, you know, live in it for about a year or two, probably 2 or 3. And then what I plan on doing is, once everything is going good, I'm settled, we financially stable and stuff like that, everything is great, then we'll start looking for another house. Or who knows, maybe 2-3 years from now, we can build a house. But we'll start looking for another house, something a little bigger, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, maybe 3-car garage. That'd be ideal to put all my stuff in and to park the cars. And this house is gonna be a rent house. That was the plan when I bought this house. First, I wanna say, there's nothing wrong with paying rent. Before you go to buy a house, what you need to do is ask yourself if that's what you really want to do. Even if you're going to rent or buy a house or whatever, it just all depends. Especially if you're going to buy a house, make sure your credit is straight, okay? That's a conversation that my culture that I'm in needs to have, is making sure your credit is straight. My credit was great when I bought the house, so it made the process a little easier. Probably way easier, way easier than somebody who has bad credit, like 500s and stuff like that. That's the first thing, most important thing. Make sure your credit's straight. And I say that because I'm 25. If you're watching this and you're 17, 18, 19, start working on your credit now. That way, when you get to my age, you can do way bigger and better things than what I'm doing. Or you can pretty much buy whatever you want. Some things it's good to buy cash. Some things it's good to buy on credit, so you can kind of up your credit. I'm still kind of learning about all that. But I started building my credit ever since I turned 18. I started building my credit. I benefited more from buying a house. The reason why I picked the house over an apartment for me was because I was doing this YouTube stuff. I'm powder coating. I wanted to get an oven. I got the oven down right here. I wanted an oven. I like to work on my car. I like to do different things. And a lot of that stuff you just can't do in an apartment. Some of it you can, but a lot of it you can't. Some of them you can, some stuff you can get by, but I couldn't powder coat at an apartment. So that's why I started looking into buying a house. The loan amount that I had was $121,998. So that's what we closed. I think, yeah, that's what we closed at. The interest rate is 5%. The monthly principal and interest is $654. So I escrowed $256.60 into my monthly payment, which makes my monthly payment, do the little jump roll, $911.51. So that is what I pay monthly for my 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And I've even been told by some people that that's cheaper than 1-bedroom apartment. So I guess that's good. And then that's like what I was telling you, you have to like, what I'm saying, you have to like make sure you got money saved in case just have money saved for closing costs and down payment, just in case. Even if you don't end up paying neither one of them, like I didn't have to pay closing costs and I didn't have to put a down payment. So the money I did have saved went to buying stuff for the house. There's different things that you can add into the deal. So say like us, we went buy a fridge, a microwave, we would buy all that stuff. We would buy a washer and dryer. The only thing we didn't buy was the dishwasher and the stove. So whenever you're doing your little deal with the seller, you can also include that and say, hey, well, look, we'll pay this, but the seller has to get, we want a fridge up to $1,000 or something that we pick out or they pick out, but it has to be worth this much. We want a fridge and a microwave or whatever. You can do stuff like that when you, and then the closing cost, y'all, was $7,291.46. Like it says closing costs and it says cash to close, and it has negative $1,389.73. That's the money I got back like literally a day or two after we closed on the house. I got that money, which in return went to the washer and dryer, fridge, and we bought a sofa and little things like that. I don't want to be paying $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 on a mortgage payment, and I was working in the oil field, and I'm like, okay, I can afford it working in the oil field, but what if I get laid off? What I'm gonna do then? I can't afford a $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 payment and take care of my kid and take care of my fiance and the cars and all this stuff. It's just a lot. It's stressful. A big payment, to me, that's a big payment. So I'm like, this is where I want to be. So I did my pre-approval and all that stuff myself with my bank, got pre-approved. The loan that there's different types of loan you can get. You can get a conventional loan, you can get an FHA loan. A conventional loan, you can pretty much buy pretty much anything you want. The interest rates I think the interest rate on a conventional loan tends to be higher than an FHA loan. An FHA loan, the houses have to be livable or move-in ready for you to get approved, for them to approve you for that house. The loan that I got approved for was through my bank, Navy Federal. It was called a Home Buyer's Choice Loan. So basically with this loan, there's different programs and stuff out there too. So you gotta make sure you do your research before you start, because there's some loans that help you with the down payment, closing costs, and all that stuff. So basically, with the loan that I got, I didn't have to put no money down. But because I wasn't putting any money down, you had to pay 1.5% of the total cost of the house. And you can either put that in the payment, you can either put that to the total cost of the house, or you can pay it up front, doesn't matter. Another thing about the loan was the seller couldn't pay like the full closing costs. They can only give up to a certain percentage, which was like 5 or 6%. So I couldn't say, hey, if the closing cost $10,000, I couldn't say, hey, give me everything I need for closing costs and we'll buy the house. I couldn't say this. So there was only a certain amount that I could ask for. If you're looking to buy a house, make sure you have some money saved. I'm gonna say it again, have some money saved. I at least say about, I don't know, like, I can't tell you how much money to have saved. I would say at least over 10 grand. You put the down payment down, you need to have a way more than what I'm saying save. So like I said, make sure your credit is good. Make sure you know what you really want. and make sure you have some money saved. That's 3 right there. When you buy a house, there's gonna be some things that you thought you wanted, but you really didn't. And then you realize you really didn't need that. Like, we bought this house, in the kitchen, there's just one big sink. And we thought, okay, oh, that's cute. That's modern looking. But now we hate it, okay? We hate that big sink because it's really not functional when it comes to washing dishes. Whenever you go in the house, tear it apart. Like, look in the attic, bring a ladder with you, go look on the roof, check every part of that house out, because there's a lot of things that you have to think of. Like, if you buy a used house, you have to pay for a, well, you don't have to, but it's recommended you pay for an inspection. You get the inspection done to make sure. They come in, they tear apart the whole house, look for every single thing that's wrong with the house. They test the water, they test the electricity, they test the plugs, they make sure that it is up to code, the water heater, the AC, all that stuff. They come in here and they tear it apart. Out here in Texas, I think I pay around $350, around that, for inspection. And I had to pay it twice because we put a contract on a house before. And when he came back with the inspection was bad. The house looked great, but the inspection was horrible. There's a lot of things in the house that didn't work, that we didn't even play with, like the tub and all that stuff. None of that stuff worked. So that's another thing that I would say, just make sure that you do whatever house you're gonna put a contract on, and y'all lock into whatever contract, get the inspection done. And then another thing I'm gonna say is pay attention to the houses around it. Look up, try to look up the values and stuff of the house around it, because the house gotta appraise for whatever that you're paying it for. But like I said, y'all, I'm gonna be skipping around. There's a lot of things I'm gonna forget to talk about. But if you wanna know, just put it down below. So, with the loan that I got, like I said, I had a conventional loan, which was about, and the interest rate I got was the lowest interest rate I could get with that type of loan, which was 5%. Now, you don't have to get a conventional loan. You can just research, what you can qualify for and all that stuff. If I would have went with an FHA loan, I would have got a lower interest rate. But because I went with a conventional loan, I got the lowest for that specific loan, which was 5%. So, and then you also have to be careful. Mine is locked in 5%, never changes. So I think there's I forgot the term for it. On some loans, you locked in, like me. My interest rate will never change unless I think I refinance it or something. But the interest rate will never change, and it's always gonna stay what it is. But there's some loans where you get a low interest rate, but it can change over time. So you can get maybe a 2%, and later on it goes up to 4 or 5 or something like that, and which messes with your mortgage payment. But thank you for watching. I hope this video helped somebody. If you have any questions, comment down below, DM me on Instagram. It'll be up here somewhere. Try to put it right about here, just that kid 2_2Ds at the end. And I'll see y'all in the next video.